Yeah, Smith Trump-tastic. Yeah, I'm about to hit y'all over the head with another banger. Turn up, Patriots. Yeah, y'all gonna love this one. Yeah. Mr. Trump-tastic. Yeah. Tony Bobolinsky. Yeah, Tony Bobolinsky. Yeah, Tony Bobolinsky had me running up them numbers. We all seen the laptop. We all know it's hunters. We all seen the laptop. We all seen the laptop. Tony Bobolinsky. Yeah, Tony Bobolinsky. Yeah, Tony Bobolinsky had me running up the numbers. We all seen the laptop. We all know it's hunters. We all seen the laptop. We all seen the laptop. Mr. Trump-tastic, I'm stepping out the Hummer. Took a trip and fall, now I'm hopping like the springtime. Magaville made me spinning wheels like Ezekiel. Magaville made me, had me starring in my videos. Had to blow the whistle, earn your stripes like a referee. Mar-a-Lago red, now I'm cooking up a recipe. Deep state, Nazi ghost try to heckle me. Chakrin in the water, phantom down with a huckleberry. 4 weeks to live, that's the whole month of February. Heart attack city, had you screaming like Mariah Carey. Willy Wonka flow, same color as the snozberries. Had to bring the bars, now I'm shutting down the factory. Mr. Trump-tastic, I'm dripping like the majesty. Desecrate your morals, minimize your principalities. Woo, I'm sweet the nation and it caused a few casualties. Dripping in the White House and I had to close the curtain. Tony Bobolinsky, yeah, Tony Bobolinsky. Yo, Tony Bobolinsky had me running up the numbers. We all seen the laptop, we all know it's Hunter. We all seen the laptop, we all seen the laptop. Tony Bobolinsky, yeah, Tony Bobolinsky. Yo, Tony Bobolinsky had me running up the numbers. We all seen the laptop, we all seen the laptop. We all seen the laptop, we all know it's Hunters. January 6th and I feel like Steve Bannon. Wartime ready and I'm shooting out the cannon. Magic carpet ride had me floating like Aladdin. Ukraine deal, shell companies, Barisma. Mr. Trump-tastic, I'm dripping with charisma. Red October, but it feels like a Christmas gift. Big head eagle and I clone them out with Adam Schiff. Mr. Trump-tastic, I'm shutting down the parking lot. Dancing on the roof, moonwalking on the raindrop. Billie Jean jacket had me feeling like the king of pop. Mount me like a statue, Papa raised a Rolling Stone. Tony Bobolinsky, and I did it on my megaphone. Red October, same color as the candy corn. Had a circle back, hit him with the gin sake. One eye open, sold to Illuminati. I can handle bars, popping wheelies on a Kawasaki. Tony Bobolinsky, yeah, Tony Bobolinsky.
Yes, that was Tony Bobolinsky featuring Mr. Trump-tastic. Yes, that song is out now. Go check it out. Thanks for being here. Late night with Mr. Trump-tastic. Yeah, y'all see the title. Man, I've been wanting to do this show for the last week, but there's been so many trending topics to even cover, man. So sometimes I will have to wait like a day or two. Well, I don't ever wait 2 days. I try to be on here every day, at least for like 30 minutes, to chop it up, to give y'all the notifications. Trump versus the Smithsonian Institution. Now, let's look at this thumbnail, y'all. Do y'all see that sign right there, family? That's the same sign as Aten. Let's pull up this ancient symbolism, because they still worship Aten, the Egyptian god Aten. And they still bear his symbol. This god Aten is a sun deity. That's a sun disk or a sundial. So hold on, let's look up the god Aten, and I hope my fucking shit don't freeze up. Jeez. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Hey man, I'm glad y'all stayed on, man. My whole computer just froze. I had to restart it. Hey, if you familiar with the channel, man, just stay tight whenever that shit happen, because they don't want us talking about these symbols and how they tricking us in plain sight. So let me put my thumbnail back on. I think we straight now. But you see what just happened. And they do this to certain individuals, but they go give you all the damn liars. They go put them in your face and they go trick your ass and make you think they gonna drive you crazy. That's the whole point of these artificial social media influencers. They ain't dealing with no real esoteric knowledge. They don't know nothing about this shit. So let's continue with the show. Thanks. Yeah, I'm glad y'all stayed on because y'all already know what time it is when it comes to the mob. Yeah, they don't want certain people talking. So as you can see, let's get back to it. We go look at the symbols because they still worship this god Aten right here. This is a sun god, but he come in many forms, y'all. Any sun deity you could tie with Jesus Christ. All right, Jesus Christ is like all these gods wrapped up in one, but he controlled time and he controlled history. And guess what? When you control time, you another personification of the god Chronos. These are these statues these Roman empires have implemented into law. So when you want to go see the statues, you go to the Smithsonian, right? If you want your history, if you want your black history, you got to go to a white man to get it. Where's the black history museums owned by black people out this bitch? You ain't gonna find none. You ain't gonna find none. It's always gonna be ran by a Jewish overlord named Smithsonian. All right. It's always gonna be ran by a Freemason named Smithsonian. It is what it is. I've never unveiled black history in a museum, real black history in a museum. We still trying to find the damn slave ships that supposedly existed. And guess what? They wasn't slave ships. They was cargo ships, man. People came over here to work. I'm pretty sure you had some violent encounters, but most part it was business. And why don't they ever talk about COINTELPRO? Why don't they ever talk about these people? Why don't they ever talk? You don't ever hear them talking about the Black Boule, y'all, and these Greek fraternities and Black history. You never hear them talking about it at all. Now, do you? That's true Black history. We want to know who the adversary is. And guess what? They cut the adversary out the pick. You see, he getting cut out the pick right now. He cutting the middleman out the pick. And once he revealed true Black history, then you could go back to healing. You can't heal when you got false history. You don't know who you are. You suffering from an identity crisis. And honestly, you're not really American. You're an ancient Babylonian that still worships this Itenism symbol in the form of Christ. So you ain't getting away from Egypt. They said Christ disappeared for what they say. Christ disappeared for like 33 years. They call it the how long did Christ disappear? Let's pull this up, and I'm gonna show you how this ties in. Look, it says this is what it's called. Let me pull this up. These are the missing years of Christ. Many attempts have been made to fill in the missing 18 years when Jesus disappeared from the scriptures. Now, how in the hell did the most famous man in American history and world history just disappear for 18 years? Why? Because of Smithsonian. Why? Because of Smithsonian. That's why they disappeared. Who else made them disappear? The Pope. The reason why they can make these people disappear because they are magicians. They can make you think the Dalai Lama is a Jew, and the Jew is the Dalai Lama. They both got the small hats on. You don't know who the fuck you are. You tell me where you came from, and then we could tell you who you are. But with Black history, we can't do that. You always go have the opposite race tell you who you are. You ever had Black people? Have you ever had a white person try to put together your whole history without even knowing your family tree? They just group you all together. That's why it's because the Smithsonian taught a lot of people that. And the Smithsonian taught a lot of blacks they were from Africa. And if you consider yourself from Africa, you are considered an immigrant. An immigrant. That means you have no ties to this land. It's called trading places. The reason why you don't know who you are, Black person, is because of Smithsonian. And the reason why white people do not know anything about history is because of Smithsonian. A lot of people don't even know it. Matter of fact, let me be honest with you. 98.9% of the people I talk to don't know nothing about the world they live in. They just know go to work, uh, take care of family, and that be that. That's the basics. That's just go get you in and out, which is fine because guess what? We need those people too. We don't need everybody eradicated. You got groups of people that identify with certain objectives within this lexicon. But when it comes to Mr. Smithsonian, he has terraformed the mind of blacks. So blacks don't know who they are. See, blacks don't know if they Candyman or this guy Saturn. They don't know. But they, like I said, black people worship Saturn. You see the Smithsonian symbol? Don't if you believe in Smithsonian, if you believe what's in Smithsonian, that's his own religion. History is a religion, but it's his story. Let's slow the word his story down. Who is the his? Family? Let's pull this up so we can get animated this morning. Who is the his? The his is the snake. His story. Who's the story? What's the knowledge of the Tory? The story. The Tory. The electromagnetic torus field. This is what this snake represents right here. This is his story. Because once you fall in duality, you bound by the snake or the serpentine. Now, let's type in this. This is the aurora borealis. These are the electromagnetic finger waves at the North Pole. But as you can see, they're green, just like the serpent. All right? Because allegedly they say you have to take this journey back to Eden right here. But once Eden is broken into many pieces, these things on the end, these these rib tips on the end, they all fall under different denominations, but all is one. You see the Smithsonian symbol? Do you see the plasma ball? Do you see the snakes coming out the plasma ball? Now check this out. this plasma ball personifies electromagnetism, family. So, as you can see, the plasma ball is the sperm cell, and you are considered the snake with the head on it. Quantum theory proves this. Consciousness moves to another universe after death. Who's the universe? What does the uni mean? The uniform. You got to put on a uniform to be in this world. You have to put on a different layer. That's the many lies within these alternate universes, family. This all has to do with Mr. Smithsonian and these different denominations. Because you far from the center. Trust me. If you believe what's in that Smithsonian, you might as well cut you. I ain't gonna promote that, but you don't know at all. And Trump, he already got the documents. He already talked to those people over there in Africa. That's why they come over there to the White House and they give him on all the records. They give this man all the. Donald Trump know more about black people than black people, especially Democrats. You don't think the president know more about you than you know about yourself? That's the thing. And if he's going after the Smithsonian, this corrupt institution, what does that tell you as a black entity in America? That you're siding with you're siding with Smithsonian. You're siding with the damn colonizer, family. Dumb, man. And then you have Trump trying to clean this shit up because he knows that's the only way to get majority of the black lost people in America on track. And some of y'all black Republicans too that think y'all from Africa and shit like that. Y'all believe this damn trans-African slave trade. So when you see certain people, because you had indentured black slaves and indentured white slaves, they call the Afrikaner slaves. They come from fucking South Wales. You have white Africans, but on paper they go look black. You go think African black. No, Elon Musk is African. Elon Musk ain't a white dude. He's an African. White is just a misnomer. Black is just a misnomer. We use those words just to be politically correct, but everybody is tied to a landmass. You can't even trace certain people back with blood tests. You can't tell a Jewish person by going and getting their damn blood. You can't tell. The thing is, they don't even use them blood tests in the military. They don't even use that shit in the military. So we can't tell who's who just by blood. But you could tell who's who by culture. You could tell who's who by culture. The thing is, it's sad because I'm gonna be honest with you. People watch my channel, and then when they get the information, I post it in Word form, but they don't know that I done talked about this shit years ago. So you still got people believing in these ancestry tests that you fucking prick your fucking blood and you send it over there across seas to a fucking immigrant, and an immigrant go tell you who you are. It's always an immigrant telling your ass who you are. You notice that shit? You see a lot of that shit on the internet. They already got their mind made up because they worship Smithsonian. They always go worship this sun god. I don't give a fuck where you at in this world. You go worship this damn sundial. And guess what? You see this black Amistad looking motherfucker? You think he's about to go to war with these whites? He about to get some goods. It wasn't all like you. It wasn't all like it was laid out for you to be. Because you got the perverted version. You got the what they call the unorthodox. Once you start doing unorthodox shit in your fucking religion, You done sided with the beast. It's already bad enough. We in the belly. Everybody's in the belly of the beast. This is what we call the belly of the beast right here. This the egg. Okay? This the egg. This is the egg. This is Yahshua in the middle of Gab and Nut. And this is George Washington posing as Samson between Joachim and Boaz in Freemasonry cosmology. So when you say, "Oh man, I'm from America," no, you're not. You stupid liar. You're from ancient Babylon. You're a Babylonian. Don't tell me you know damn American. That's the biggest misnomer. Anybody could be an American. Who's the American? Who's the American in this picture? These Spaniards on this damn boat, or this this black entity on the left with the rope ready to get his goods. He's about to get all them goods, but shit, he don't know if he got to pop off and kill one of these motherfuckers. Just like you doing a deal. See, some people did deals with this $5, and this the fake white man that came over here, and he paid $5 to be a fucking Indian. So some of y'all white folks that think y'all fucking Indians, your grandparents are not Indians. They just paid $5 to be this motherfucker right here, Cheddar Man, out this bitch. Don't they look alike? This ain't motherfucking Squanto. Hell no. Some white people be like, man, I got Indian in my blood. No, you don't. You got $5 Indian in your blood. Go check them. Go check your documents. Don't just take your word for it. I don't think y'all really know what an Indian is. All right? Because when Columbus came over here, he said he seen motherfuckers that look like this. All right? Now, the thing is, your ancestors might have screwed one of these motherfuckers and created a real Indian. That'd be the only way. But through this motherfucker right here, hell no, you fraud too. You suffering from a identity crisis out this bitch. Shit's stupid, man. This shit already been laid out. This information already been laid out. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at your people for doing this shit. Just like black people need to get mad at the black boule. But we don't see nothing about the black boule in black history. We don't see COINTELPRO. All right. Now the thing is, let's get back to the build. This is ancient cosmology right here. Now didn't they say Planet X was coming back, or what they call, what is this, Aldebaran? The Aldebaran is no different from the Smithsonian symbol. And the reason why I say that is because these sun rays are all going towards the center to create rebirth and resurrection. But if they could get in between that, they will. This is the god Aldebaran. Who is the god Al? The god Al, they always go give you the truth. Now the god Al is the god El Toro, or El Gordo. See, there's a god called Goro as well. If you play Mortal Kombat, you know who Goro is, but he represents the Vitruvian man or the triple goddess. So this is the El god right here. But the El god is Al. Al and El, these vowels, it don't matter. It's the Canaanite deity, and he functions as the demiurge. He functions as the demiurge. But this is Yahweh too. But this the God that do evil and bad. He worked with NASA. He's the serpent, and guess his skin color is green as well. But if you look in the Smithsonian, his ass is probably in there. So let's get into this. Who owns the Smithsonian? This their symbol, y'all. Washington, D.C., also known as the Castle, established in August 10th, 1846, 179 years ago. And this is their flag, the Ottonism symbol. And they also, let me see, they bear the flag of Osiris up there too. So let's pull up Osiris. All this shit is Egyptian. You think of Smithsonian, just think of Egypt. So if you look at Osiris throne right here, they bear the same flag right here. You think you're in America, but you're not. You're not. You're not. And who the hell is this? A school. This is a school field trip at the Smithsonian. This could be a real dude right here. But when the kids leave, they just he just walk off this platform. Hell no. So they got airplanes, the Wright brothers. This who in charge of your Black History, Negro. You don't even know this motherfucker. All these white Jewish men in charge of your black. Just look, and he got the monkeys right there. I told you they deal with eugenics. The monkeys are the blacks. And if you ask Elon Musk said the same thing. He said, we have reached the singularities. Just ask the monkeys. So guess what? If they want to gauge society, you gauge it by who's the most disgruntled monkey. And guess what? You freeze his ass too, and you put him in a museum. You turn his ass into a statue like they do everybody else. They turn your head. These damn Smithsonians, man. They basically Zionists. To be honest with you, because they control all this damn. I don't see no black. What do you mean? Black people are mad. Do you see any black people? This motherfucker. Who is this? Earl? Earl Conway, the secretary. See, he's Black Boule. You ain't gonna know who the fuck this motherfucker is. We don't even know who this is. But as you can see, all those other white men, they over top of him. So you think he got any say so? He the secretary. He just pushed the papers through. And if he do discover some fuckery, he can't say it because he'll end up bleeding out somewhere on Fifth Ave. All right, he can't tell the truth. That's what I said. A lot of people can't tell the truth. They just bound to a certain. So that's the Ottonism symbol right there. And like I said, they worship the snake, but we all know the snakes. See, the snakes are the thorns on the crown of horns. Okay, let's pull up what I'm talking about because L he got his people hooked up to this damn Neuralink device, and as you can see, L looks no different from this guy Otten that they worship at the Smithsonian. All right, this is Atum Ra. So when people say their prayers, they started off with Jesus Christ, and they worship Amen Ra. And I said, I even try to invite people to that Bible study. I said people would pray to Jesus Christ, and then end the prayer off with this guy right here. Let's pull up this guy right here. Let's just put this guy right here. I said, somebody explain to me, and guess what? I had already beat him to the punch to the AI answer. So I was like, yeah, I knew he was gonna say that because before I type something in, I look up AI too. So this the guy Otten. Hold on. Or the guy Amen or Amos. Let's pull this up right here. And as you can see, what does he have on his head? 2 pills, 2 pillars on his head. So this the guy Amen. So when Christians pray, they started off with Jesus Christ and they end with this motherfucking deity right here. So what is he the God? He's the God of sun. Do you see the sun at the Smithsonian? Smithsonian is a sun god too, because he deal with look what he deal with. Also known as almond. See, if you want to deal with etymology, almond is the almond, the nut. This is the pineal gland. This is why they worship the pineal at the Vatican. Do you see the thing? You see this? See, when it's closed, that's mean your pineal gland is calcified, family. When it's open, you can lead assimilation. This is your third eye. That's the sun god right there. The sun god is the third eye. But this symbol bears the chest on Moloch too. Moloch got the same Smithsonian symbol on his chest. Now we're gonna pull up Moloch too, because I thought I had a picture of him on this slide, but we gonna have to slide to the next slide. Like electric slide out this bitch. Excuse my language. But yes, this is the pineal gland. This is the cone-shaped organ between your temples. This what produces these light rays, or what they call Ra's. The sun god Ra is Ray. The sun Ra's, the sun rays. All this shit Egyptian. You look up American history, all we go see is Freemasonic, 33rd degree, Egyptianology, Yahwehism, all that shit go describe. You know what? This is really a flat earth symbol too. See, Smithsonian knows the earth is flat, y'all. Even Julius Caesar, the UN symbol, you have the electromagnetic torus field around the head or the dome. Here go your sun rays, these electromagnetic ley lines that's going towards the center. The sun is the center, or what they call the center, or the 33rd degree of Freemasonry. The 33rd degree of Freemasonry is 33rd degree north. That's the highest pinnacle. That's the pine cone. That's why they worship the pine cone in Catholic tradition. So, the 33rd is also the all-seeing eye in the middle of the electromagnetic torus field, family. All this shit aligned. This is the Godhead right here inside the tetragrammaton, or what we call the Star David. See, but the Godhead is always interchangeable. So it could be Smithsonian, it could be BLM one day. You'll never know who this Godhead is. He's interchangeable, man. And due to your ignorance, is calibrated toward who's in that Godhead. Okay, but the thing is, people juggle multiple personalities within inside this Godhead too. This is the story of Mama Callie cutting off the heads. This is also, remember I talked about Goro in Mortal Kombat? This is Mama Callie. Mama Callie is the offshoot of California. This is why Hinduism is also embedded in Americano history. But are they gonna tell you this at the Smithsonian? I just told you, I just went in 35 minutes and gave y'all a whole deep build, more than what the Smithsonian got in this bitch. But guess what? Am I gonna get any fucking donations? Hell no. You got people out here smarter than what's in the, more wiser than what's in the Smithsonian, but they go get funded of 50 billion. And guess what? My ass go sit up on here, love doing this shit, but I'm gonna be broke. I'm not broke, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about versus these motherfuckers that's getting all the funding to lie. You got somebody just straight out the basement that know more than what's going on in the Smithsonian. And I don't have to go to the Smithsonian to know what's in there. Or we already know they lying. You know what? This might be an offshoot of John Smith and them boys that came over here and married Pocahontas. And guess what they said, man? They said that the Indians in Manhattan. Look, let's talk about this shit now. Y'all talking about some shit exposed. Uh, how much? I looked up this shit, and I said, "Oh my god, let's pull this up." I said, "How much was Manhattan sold for?" I said, "How much would Manhattan sold for?" But we go get off of this Mama Cali. But this is where they got the state California from. It's based on Mama Cali, and you see a lot of entertainers sticking their tongue out like Mama Cali too, because they take on different personalities. Those are the different god heads that are interchangeable. So let's get into what I said about Manhattan. So this is all part of your Black history. See, was Manhattan really sold for $24 worth of heads and trinkets, basically like liquor. $24. You see what's going on? You see what got sold? So I had a picture of that black man standing, that African man standing, waiting on the slaves, on the slave ship. But he was not really waiting on slaves. He was waiting on goods. This motherfucker right here. He waiting on goods. And guess what? He's this African, well, he ain't African. He might be from Africa or he might be from the Americas. Either way, he's waiting on the goods. And as you can see, he done sold out to the damn colonizers on this boat. This is how much Manhattan was sold to the Indians, y'all. Or who I should say, the $5 Indians. Yeah, because it seemed like the indigenous, there's a difference between indigenous and native. Y'all need to get that right now, because there's a big difference between indigenous. I mean, indigenous means you just in the land. Native means you just born on that land. Native, it just means if your family colonized to Americas and your second generation pop up, that means you native uh, uh to the Americas. You're not indigenous to the Americas. The colonizers are considered natives, or who we call $5 Indians, fam. But if your memory has been erased, you don't know who the fuck you are. You don't know which mask you want to pull on. You could be Jew, you could be Black Hebrew Israelite, you could be MAGA, you could be anybody you want to in these damn masks. And when they all come off, it'll be too late then. You already be stupid. And then guess what? Now you gotta agree with Smithsonian and shit. There's a lot of right wingers who think they truthers who agree with Smithsonian. I don't even believe the shit they tell me about white people. So why would I believe the shit they gonna tell me about black people? And you wonder why black crime going out the fucking roof? Because motherfuckers don't know who they are out this bitch. They believe they from Africa. If you believe you from another land and you get to this land, you're not gonna want to respect it or anything. If you want to know the real reason why black folks is acting ignorant, because they sold to Smithsonian. They don't know who they are. Guess what? And that breeds hate towards whites when whites pretty much went through the same shit, fam. Pretty much went through the same shit. The reason why your black ass ain't got nothing is because these people right here. Let me pull these people up. The reason why you don't know shit because of these people. The reason why you hate the man because of this, white man because of this. Let's pull these motherfuckers up. Let's pull up. These motherfuckers are sneaky. And they gotta uphold this Greco-Egyptian culture. But they got secrets, Sigma Pi Phi Alpha, the Black Greek fraternity, also known as the Black Boule. But like I said, they in bed with the top hats. And they keep secrets. Secret means sacred. And see, the thing is, there's so many damn secrets out there. If you don't if you don't keep them secrets, you lose power. Now, a lot of, as you can see, a lot of this black fraternity stuff is losing power. It's losing its steam because they were siding with the transhuman movement. They were siding with the Democratic Party. But guess what? The root word of Democrat is demon. The Democratic Party tied to the Black Boule. LeBron James a part of this shit too. He got the tattoo of the griffin on his chest. Half man, half beast. That's what they represent. But the beast is the bull on Wall Street. This monetary system, this socialist capitalist system is the beast. So when you want to join Sigma Pi Alpha, you gotta swap the egg on Hell Night. Yeah, go look up Hell Night. Some of y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. And who the fuck knows what they doing in the back of that lodge, fam? In the back of that elk lodge. Some of y'all people are part of this shit. I got people in my family that dwell in this shit, but I already know all they fucking secrets. I already know how to break this shit down. So the thing is, curious people want to be a part of this shit because guess what? They uphold a brotherhood of brothers, and guess what? They all come through for each other. But guess what? They control opposition. They control, there's higher chapters than that. This is an African American professional fraternity founded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1904. This also has to do with a lot of Prince Hall Freemasonry too. All right. Also known as the Black Boule. And they bear the symbol of the Adinkra. And as you can see, there go the two pillars right there, the two pills, Joachim and Boaz. And this symbol of the Sigma Pi Phi Alpha, the Griffin, it's a transhuman right here. It's a man, a winged dog, and a cat. And there go, look, there. What symbol is that, y'all? What symbol is this right here? This symbol right here is also the Ionism symbol, as you can see on this vase right here. And that Ionism symbol is just a CERN technology. It's personifying a polar vortex 33rd degree north right here. That's what L personifies in the middle of this cosmos because they worship a damn alien god. It's the whole thing about this Scientology that's supposed to be coming back at Earth. So they tied in with the Black Boule, but they don't tell you about this damn black history right here because it's designed for a certain type of black man. Okay? It's designed for you to sign up for some shit and abide by those rules. And if you don't abide by those rules, hey, you gonna end up like Malcolm X out this bitch. All right. This fraternity does not have collegiate chapters as it's designed to be a professional fraternity for African Americans, men and career or older. They got the female version too, the Eastern Stars and shit like that. But and like I said, you might have some good people, and the thing is, it's just weird because these ancient symbols they mean stuff, but they get perverted in the higher realms of society. When the Bible said there are evils of principalities in high places, what do you think this shit means? What do you think this shit is? These are these symbols that's talking over your head. And if the symbols are perverted, you're perverted. Just how they did the rainbow symbol. Now you can't even wear a rainbow. The thing is, if you buy a pack of Skittles, people are gonna think you gay. You can't even buy a pack of Skittles nowadays. The rainbow is tarnished. But when you go outside and see a real rainbow is beautiful. But when you see it out of its original form, it's ugly. When you see this on somebody's jacket, it's ugly. This is why Trump had to get rid of this shit, or he at least had to tame it down. He can't. I don't think he can fully abolish this stuff, but he could tame it to where it ain't, you know, all over the place. It ain't radicalized. That's why Democrats lost the election because they hate men. Democrats hate men. And guess what? That's why they lost the election. Because rainbow, Skittles, Tutti Frutti in the booty, zesty, zesty. This how your husband got that good ass job at Conglomero, making over 50K a year, 500K a year out this bitch. Because he's at the Greek fraternity, at the Elk Lodge doing this shit. But like I said, man, I done met people that are good people that are a part of these organizations. They just don't know how sick the history was. And they are directly tied in with the United Nations and UNESCO. They bear the same symbol of Aten. Okay. And as you can see, their Greek gods are androgynous, and so are these motherfuckers right here. These are also pansexuals. So let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. So when the slaves get done fighting, they go have sex and breed. That's the whole part of the Greek freak culture. So when you thinking of freak or freaky, you think of black. You think of Freak Nick, P Diddy, Freak Offs, all that. Like I said, Diddy, Kamala, Whoopi, all part of this Sigma Pi Phi black boule culture that was established in Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Phi. That's the root word of Philly. PHI. The Phi. Who is the Phi? The fire. That's the burning bush. That's the Phi. Sigma Pi. What is the pi? The pi is the Smithsonian symbol. Okay? You see these slices of pies right here? This is I think this is Samsara. And is it Vedic I think it's Vedic cosmology right here. This your old farmer's game. You know this as a kid, and this your wagon wheel right here. But this is the pie. Every slice is leading towards this center point. And I told you who is the center? The center. The center is the center. Because guess what? This picture right here is no different than you pinning your sins to Christ. These are the pins or the nails that were driven into the holes, the hands and holes of Christ. Christ represents the Holy Ghost. Those are the holes in Christ's hands. This is the hole right here to get out. That's the way out. That's why the disciples stuck his hand in a hole. What is the hole? The black hole. The black hole of Saturn. Now, as you can see, this eye right here is Saturn. You see, is where it's located at? His hands and his chest. Christ has holes in his hands and his feet. You see the holes in Moloch's feet? You see the sundials on his chest and his hands? Why? Because guess what? Smithsonian bears the same symbol of Moloch. So these hands and holes and what they call the Holy Ghost is calibrated to different alternate realities that you could go into. So if you go into the left hand, you might end up in Iraq, uh, getting blown up 50 million times. If you go to the right hand, you might end up on the Gaza Strip getting a nuke dropped on your head. If you go to the holes in his feet, you might end up in feet land. You might end up in Negro land out this bitch. And I might add, America is suffering. This is suffering. We still suffering from chronic Negro fatigue, man. All right, we will always suffer from this until the history, the real history, is back established again. But until then, we go get bullshit. We go get black on black crime. But if the Smithsonian ain't fixed, this is basically a kamikaze mission. This is why I do these shows, so I can establish real American history back into the lexicon. But the thing is, people want trending topics, so I got to mix the trending topics in with the true history. I can't do, because people attention span, they worship this guy right here. The root word of attention is at. AT&T. What the fuck does this guy personify right here? A damn Tesla tower out this bitch. That's the fucking Smithsonian symbol. That's the I told you this is who they worshiping. That's the devil right there. Coco Pelli worshiping the same thing. He a sun god too, a fertility god. His symbol is the Fibonacci. Well, the Fibonacci, this symbol is old as earth right here. It's all tied to flat earth cosmology though. Or what they call the pineal or the pinnacle. What time is it? 5:30? Damn. Man, I gotta get up and going here in a second. Gotta get these kids up and shit. But yeah, we'll go into part 2 later on because people don't know about these frequencies right here. Or this polar vortex. That's what people worshiping. Go ask these Scientology motherfuckers. They call Raelians and shit. You see, they put the same dial, the same swastika that personifies a polar vortex at 33rd degree in the middle of this star, David. This is what they worshiping, y'all, at the Smithsonian. But like I said, black history been exposed. Black history been exposed. Now, do you think this dude right here, you think this guy is a slave? Or was he a prisoner? Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you had some prejudice shit. You had some crazy lug nuts out there who will fucking tie your ass up and hang your ass on a tree. Yeah, you got those people, but shit, those were the slave catchers. So if you was in bondage, and you had a 7-year deal to work on Charlie's plantation, guess what? He would call them slave owners and he would hang your ass by a tree because you didn't fulfill that 7 years of debt. They would just do away with you the nasty way. So some of that went on too. You gotta think some of that went on too. But even white people don't know why that fucking happened. They just thought it was out of hatred. And some instances it was out of hatred. Some instances it was because they ran off the plantation and got caught. In some of these corners, yes, this shit did happen. But on a mass level, no. Motherfuckers weren't getting hanged by the you think come on, man. You gotta look at this shit right here. All that shit wasn't going on too much. You had little pockets of it like we do now. Ain't no different. Ain't no different. Then you had cartoons. You had cartoons to explain this shit. Let's pull this up because a lot of them colonizers lost in war. Let's look up this. But they don't tell you about these wars that go on. They don't even tell you about this in Black history. Do they tell you about? Hold on, let's pull this up. Are they even telling you about the Gullah Gullah Wars? The Gullah Wars refer to as conflicts involving the Gullah people, primarily in the context of their struggle for freedom, autonomy in the United States. See, they say the Gullahs was descendant of enslaved, but that's a fucking lie. You can't just read this shit and expect to get the truth, man. Because they always go tie this shit back to Africa. How in the fuck do you bring Africans over here and they end up whooping a white man's ass in these Gullah wars? That don't even make fucking sense. Because the thing is, you, some of this shit is over here. I think you got a Gula. That's in Africa, but the Gullah Gullah War, those are people from hold on, South Carolina, I believe. Yeah, this is South Carolina right here. Do they teach you anything about this shit? No. But they go tie these motherfuckers back to Africa. They go tie it back to Africa. So you're not gonna get the real history anyway. Cause they go and the thing is, hold on. Yeah, there's a country named Gulu in Uganda. They got it bad over there because they gave up their natural rights. You go into Uganda, you go see the Star of David out there, bitch. I'll tell you that right now. You go to all these impoverished countries, you go see the Star of David out this bitch. And you already know when you see the Star of David in an African land, just know this motherfucker done came throughout this bitch and start whooping ass. All right, just know that happened. Just know Charleston White came out there too, because guess what? Slave, chains, and the whip. That's the car. The whip is the wagon wheel. The whips and chains, family. The nice cars, the whips and chains. But you'll never figure it out because a lot of people want to perpetuate the hate. Look, welcome to the NCAACP. And guess who's in the front? Jewish white men. When black people start getting them comb overs and shit, they got that from the Jewish community. When blacks start perming their hair and frying their fucking hair, they lost their heritage. Anytime you lose your hair, you lose your heritage. Especially from these damn chemicals and shit coming in, imported from migrants from China. And then black women go ahead and put that shit on top of their head and then it's fried after that. But guess what? Is the Smithsonian gonna tell you that China's poisoning them wigs and shit? Hell no. Is the Smithsonian gonna keep you from danger? Hell no. If the Smithsonian ain't warning you about your own history and telling you the truth about your own history, and result of that, you go see black on black crime and all that shit because it's not important. A man that don't know his history is a damn agent, damn near, or his true history. Because you got fake history and you got real history. And I'm gonna be honest with you, majority of people I meet don't know none of this shit, y'all. They don't know nothing, but they know what Nick Fuentes said. They know what Andrew Tate said. They know what Sneeko said. They know what everybody else said, but they don't know true history or what they call true religion, fam. These people are still stuck in this cave. That's why I gotta push the status quo. I gotta challenge people's intellect on here because guess what? They gonna go on another channel. See, the thing is, if you know what's going on, and you know pretty much how they screwed everybody. Like I said, it's the UN, it's the United Nations. They worship this damn symbol, but they feed it to you in 20 different ways. So you're not gonna get the true knowledge of what's inside this 33rd degree. That's the knowledge that's kept away from you. The 33rd degree is the cap that's missing off the capstone, fam. And then they give you the heliocentric model. See, they keep the flat earth shit. That's why I said y'all globe earthers are stupid, because they telling you, look at this. All the allegedly uh globalists out there, the important not the peons. I'm talking about these people that got black cars and limited amount. They the real globalists. See, but they don't believe in a globe. They use the flat earth symbol. Why are evil people using flat earth symbols? Because they know the knowledge. They know the knowledge. You think evil, see, evil knows more about good and evil than you do. See, because you don't have the knowledge of the 33rd degree. The only knowledge you have of the 33rd degree is what they give you in a damn a demiurge. That's the only knowledge you getting is of the demiurge. Anything past the demiurge, you ain't getting nowhere. Like I said, the globalists, they use the flat earth symbol. They put it in your face too. They give it to you in games and shit. They teach you everything. It's the will of God. It's the will of God. It's the writings on the wall, family. And like I said, if you ain't tying this to flat earth, you ain't doing shit anyway. Let me be honest with you. If you ain't tying this symbol up with what I just said, you wasting your time with everybody else. Go read Revelations 13:13. So they keep all the real shit and they give you the globe, ball, earth. They keep all the flat earth shit, but they give you ball, earth, and they heliocentric. Heliocentric. That means you're going to hell if you believe this shit. But they know they can hijack original ancient symbols that was written on the wall and feed it back to your ass as something else. But they keep the real knowledge. This is how they control you. So in a nutshell, good good ignorant people are funding evil entities that are not even from this dimension. And you expect the world to get better? Hell no. You have not cracked the Da Vinci Code. You would not know where to start to even make the world better, sir. So don't even try it. I'm out of here, man. I gotta get ready for my daily activities. So we gonna be back with part two because I still really haven't covered a lot like I wanted to today. Because we got more about black. Matter of fact, go look up that one episode I did. What was it? We just did it a few days ago. A slave ship named Jesus. Go look up that. We broke that down. But yeah, we out of here, family. Make sure you share and like the video and sub up to these Mr. Trumptastic Radio and Mr. Trumptastic TV. I'm gonna upload some more music. I don't know when. But yeah, I always got something up my sleeve. But yeah, we'll get back to that later. But yeah, I'm out of here, y'all. Love y'all. I'm out. Mr. Trump.